Okay, for those on YouTube, for those on the tube, this is when cops fell into deadly traps. Let's go.
Mr. Yu, can you hear me?
These are cases where police officers fall into deadly traps set by criminals, beginning with the ruthless criminal who lured cops to his home only to ambush them.
Who's all in the house? It's me.
At 2 a.m. on February
why did he up the ante on him so quick?
36-year-old Morris Richard Jones III after he reported that armed intruders had broken in and shot his wife.
Phoenix 911, where is your emergency?
There's a gunshot wound. There's a gunshot wound.
Where?
We had an intruder. We had an intruder. Baby, wake up. It's a gunshot wound. We had an intruder.
I got that. Can I talk to one person who got shot?
My wife.
Who?
They came in here trying to rob us. They came in here and robbed us.
The officers quickly reached the residence, ready to intervene and save Richard's dying wife, not realizing they were heading into a trap.
Why did he do that just to shoot him, you know?
Who's all in the house? Who's all in the house? It's me. Who's you?
Richard opened fire on the officers.
Why did he do that?
The brunt of the attack, suffering multiple gunshots to the chest before managing to escape. The other officers were also hit, forcing them to retreat, call for backup, and secure the building's perimeter. Meanwhile, Richard barricaded himself inside the house along with his wife, whom we later learned he had shot, and remained inside. After a prolonged standoff, Richard's brother, who was also inside the house, emerged carrying the couple's infant and surrendered to the police. As officers rushed to rescue the infant, whom the brother had placed on the front porch, Richard struck once again.
Hey, come with me. Baby. Door. I got the baby.
So he just called the cops on himself so he could shoot him.
And others were injured by shrapnel during the rescue attempt. Eventually, SWAT officers arrived with advanced equipment to try and save the baby.
I need it. Here, give me the baby. Give me the baby. Go.
Shortly after, SWAT officers breached the home and found the suspect dead on the floor from what was later determined to be self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
What?
They also discovered the body of his wife, 29-year-old Shatifa Lobley, whom he had shot. In total, 9 officers were injured during the encounter, with the first responding officer suffering the most severe wounds. However, all the officers survived. In the next case, the suspect, acting like a deranged individual, attempted to blow up the officers who arrived at his home.
James, stay away from your front door.
On December 4th, 2023, an Arlington police officer on patrol rushed to a residence after hearing what sounded like gunfire. Upon arriving at the apartment, he chose not to enter after neighbors warned him that the homeowner was a reclusive conspiracy theorist who believed the U.S. government was targeting him with spies. The officer later determined that the sounds he had heard were flares fired by the suspect, who had barricaded himself inside. Recognizing the unstable behavior of the homeowner, 56-year-old James Yu, the officer immediately called for backup.
Okay.
Arlington County Police! Stop shooting the flares! Mr. Yu, can you hear me? Mr. Yu!
So pretty much, he believes they're out to get him. But that's all I get. He believes they're out to get him, and he's actually crazy as fuck for no reason at all. Okay, remember, he's doing this for no reason. Besides, he thinks they're out to get him.
SWAT officers brought in an armored vehicle to breach the door, as none of the officers.
I'm saying, if the government's out to get you, they would have got you. I don't care what you do. The government, if they really want you gone, you know what they gonna do? They gonna get you, and it's gonna look like it was a suicide. Just saying.
Were willing to enter blindly, unsure of what kind of ambush might await them.
James, Arlington Police, come to the front door with your hands up. Do it now. You have your building surrounded. You're not leaving. Come to the door now with your hands up. James, this is the Arlington Police Department. We need you to to move away from your front door. James, stay away from your front door. Stay away from your front door.
As the armored vehicle breached the front door, James opened fire, but no officers were hit as they remained inside the vehicle, while others maintained a safe distance. Unable to reach or communicate with James after breaching the door, the officers proceeded to break through the windows, unaware of the evil plans James had
And
planned.
he was just ready to blow up his house.
James had retreated to his basement and ignited kegs of gasoline, triggering a massive explosion. The officers attempting to breach the windows were fortunate to be inside a heavily armored vehicle, as the outcome could have been drastically different. Here are various other angles of the explosion.
So what are the people outside of it? There's people outside of it, like on behind the road.
Fortunately, all officers not inside the armored truck were far enough from the explosion to avoid severe harm, though several sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The incident ultimately became a body recovery mission for James, who was caught in his own explosion. The next case was utterly insane, with the suspect relentlessly setting trap after trap for the unsuspecting police officers.
So is it like a Home Alone trap or something? Oh, he's shooting?
On March 29th, 2024, a Sparks police officer in Nevada pulled over 34-year-old Anthony Wade, who was driving a Ford truck without license plates, unaware that he was walking into a trap.
And he just like... So he just did... Oh, that was my phone, my bad.
I'm shot. It's just 1050.
Wade opened fire on the officer, who narrowly escaped injury by sheer luck, as a bullet grazed his neck and head, while his vest stopped another. Wade fled in his vehicle, but crashed shortly afterward, then ran on foot, triggering a police lockdown of the entire neighborhood. Soon after, dispatch received calls from a homeowner, reporting that the suspect had broken into her house, prompting the rapid deployment of numerous armed officers to the scene.
He was on the backyard and came inside.
Where is he?
I think he went to the other house.
Hey, just come over just in case the guy might be in there. Show me your hands. Sparks police. Put your hands up. Stop. That doesn't look like anyone's in there. Alright, so we have a critical incident that's going on. It's kind of dangerous right now. Did anyone jump inside your yard or backyard? Where are you headed to? Okay. What I need you to do, can you go inside your house and shelter in place? Let's get this family out of here.
Unknowingly to the officers, Wade was hiding in the back seat of a car, holding the homeowner hostage. He had intended for her to drive him out of the neighborhood, but when that was no longer an option, he forced her back into the house. Before officers could piece everything together and return to search the residence, being the closest to the one he had previously...
So he was right there.
Wade was already lying in wait, this time with more traps prepared.
We're up, please. Hey, stand up. Are you hurt? Get her up. Get her up. Get her up. Get her up. I got you.
One of the officers immediately dragged the hostage to safety, while several brave officers stayed behind to confront Wade.
It's all in GTA, too. It's all in GTA.
No, he's in back away. He shoots me.
Okay. He actually... I'm saying they haven't deployed SWAT yet. Did they? I don't think they deployed SWAT yet.
After a bullet struck his hearing protection. However, the ordeal didn't end there. The suspect managed to escape once again, this time caught on a police drone as he jumped a fence into another property, prompting officers to quickly rescue the woman inside. Wade then barricaded himself in the home, refusing to surrender despite hours of failed negotiations. When SWAT officers finally breached the house, they found no sign of him, but as they moved toward the garage, they were walking straight into another trap.
Oh my... Yeah, they got him. 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 There's no way they didn't get him. There's no way they didn't get him. If he miraculously survived that, he got something on his side.
The officers retreated once again as Wade opened fire on them. After 2 hours of attempting to make verbal contact without a response, they advanced toward the garage once more, where they discovered Wade lying dead. An autopsy later confirmed that he had died from gunshot wounds. In the next case, an innocent police officer and father of 3 paid the ultimate price when he fell into a trap set by an evil criminal he was trying to rescue. On May 30th, 2024, Minneapolis officers responded to a building following reports of a gunshot and an active mass shooting. Upon arrival, the first officer encountered a man who appeared to have been shot. As the officer moved to assist him, something crazy happened.
512, look, we have at least 2 victims outside at the location, bleeding. Who shot you? Who shot you? Are there victims inside?
He had a gun on him.
Jamal Mitchell, attempting to perform an act of goodwill by helping what he believed to be a victim, was fatally shot by the actual gunman who had been pretending to be injured. As eyewitnesses observed the incident, it wasn't long before additional officers flooded the scene.
Where? Where's the guy shooting? Come here.
See, the crazy thing is, he's doing this right after he did the crime, okay? There's a small chance you could get away with the crime, okay? Be a free man for your life. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but there's a small chance. But you do this right after the crime is committed. Just saying. I would have fled if I was him. Not saying I would do this, but I'm just saying. What he could have done is, if there's like no cameras that could have got his face or anything, or his clothing, or even as little as his face, I would have started running. Anybody that was near you, they gonna think that you're running away from the gunshots, okay? They're gonna think that. But then, maybe that's just me.
Get up! We need handcuffs on him!
Other arriving officers managed to kill the gunman, 34-year-old Mustafa Mohammed, a career criminal who had fatally shot Officer Jamal Mitchell, a father of 3 who was soon to be married, in cold blood. The gunman also killed 1 other person and injured 4 additional victims during the incident. The next case was entirely different, as the officer fell into a trap set by her own colleague.
What?
On July 20th, 2020, 2 Cleveland police officers responded to a call about an individual standing in a boarding house bathroom with a firearm.
Hold up.
What number did you say he's in?
4. My door's open.
He's got a gun?
4. He's got a gun. He's got a gun. He's got a gun. He's in here. Get here. Get here. Get here. Get here.
Who are you talking to?
The fucking this man is the bathroom door. It's right here.
Wait, what? Okay, so he's going in the bathroom. Oh, he jumped. Okay.
Shot fired! Hey, get in the car! Kill that! Shot fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! We need 911 right now. Kill that! Get in the car! I'm taking you to the hospital.
The male cop rookie officer, Bailey Gannon, inexperienced and untested, panicked upon spotting the gunman, even though the suspect wasn't firing at him. In a moment of fear, he ran, abandoning his partner, Officer Jennifer Kilnap, and recklessly fired over his head, accidentally shooting her in the process. Kilnap suffered severe injuries as she experienced nerve damage that caused chronic pain in her dominant arm.
Okay. I don't want to blame him because he was in the moment. But I feel like when you're a cop, rookie or not, you should be trained to have, like, to be able to be composed at moments like this. And I know it ain't easy to be composed in moments like this, but I feel like if you're a police officer, you used to be able to be composed in a moment like this. And you know, see, that's just,
arm and wrist,
I don't know.
preventing her from returning to duty due to both physical injuries and PTSD. Despite his actions, Gannon faced no disciplinary consequences. Instead, just 3 months after the shooting, he received an exceeding expectations rating in his annual performance review. This prompted Killnap to file a lawsuit against the police department, the city, and Gannon, whose father was later revealed to be a sergeant within the department. The next case was a traffic stop went wrong, as the suspect caught the officers completely off guard. On August 30th, 2021, two Brevard County...
Oh, why does he look like a cave? Is that a big old... I can't tell if he has like locks in the beard or just... I can't tell. I need to see a photo of him.
Containing 3 adult males and a 2-month-old baby. 2 of the men were outside the car during the stop, and as one of the deputies instructed the 3rd occupant to exit the vehicle, the sheriff deputies were in for a big surprise.
Yeah, I'll watch it for you. He's all right. I got babies. Oh, you got a dog too? Hell. I'll make sure they're all right. I got babies too, man. Huh? Okay. Shit! Shit!
Were his friends in on it? He got a kill streak. Hold up. Nah, cause that he pulled out. He popped up. I don't know if his friends are in on it or not. Got one down, I'm pretty sure. Got another down. Oh no, they got him.
The gunman, 38-year-old Paris Wilder, a career criminal with over 23 felony arrests, was pronounced dead at the scene, while the assaulted officer suffered significant lacerations and tissue damage to the head. In this case, a criminal lured the police to a location only to launch an attack on the responding officer. On February 3rd, 2025, at 2:38 p.m., Fairfax County Police responded to a suspicious event on Fair Lakes Parkway. A caller claimed to have killed 2 people. While investigating, a 16-year-old male suspect ran toward an officer and immediately assaulted him.
What? Oh, he got a gun? A knife? He got a knife. Okay, I don't know why. Why doesn't the officer have a gun? Why doesn't the officer have a gun?
Stay there. You stuck? No. Give me your hand.
Why did he do that? Like his niggas allergic to feed him? Like, I'm sorry, but you know, first of all, and I can tell he's a minority. I don't know if he's black, Hispanic, I don't know, Indian. I don't know where he could be. He got pigmentation on his skin. So not only, since I'm pretty sure this is America, okay, not only are you already at a disadvantage because the system is racist, okay? The cops, not all cops are racist, but the system is racist, and there's a lot of racist cops out there, okay? So you already got it kind of down. But he just lets him, but he just runs at him. Basically signed away his freedom. And didn't even get a kill, okay? People be allergic to freedom. And he did nothing at all.
The teen stabbed the officer in the upper body before being taken into custody.
He stabbed him, but that's all.
The 6-year veteran was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries and later released. Investigators confirmed the suspect made the false 911 call. He remains in custody and charged with malicious wounding. In the next case,
that's attempted murder.
Cops couldn't believe their eyes when a suspect they had prior altercation with lured them back to his house, where he had set up traps in wait.
What? Wait, what happened?
with lured them back to his house, where he had set
All
up
he
traps.
did was hold his hands up. Hey, what?
Shots fired, shots fired. More cars, send everyone.
On October 12th,
What?
2022,
I'm so confused.
Connecticut
Hold up.
police pursued Nicholas Brutcher after
Maybe
a
I should just
bar fight
watch.
led to his ejection from the establishment. Responding to calls from patrons, officers tracked Nicholas and his brother's truck, eventually conducting a traffic stop. A physical altercation ensued between Nicholas and the police, and he was ultimately released with a public disturbance ticket. However, Nicholas wasn't finished. Upon returning home, he dialed 911 and falsely reported an emergency to lure officers to his residence. Once they arrived, he donned camouflage attire, armed himself,
Oh!
and lay in wait at the side door for the approaching officers.
Was he bus camping?
And they were in for a big surprise.
Here, right now.
Shots fired!
Concealed in some bushes in front of his parents' house, Nicholas opened fire on the 3 arriving officers. He fatally shot 2 of them, while the third managed to escape with gunshot wounds to the leg. However, Nicholas's rampage did not end there. He continued to shoot at the 2 officers he had already gunned down.
Shots fired, shots fired. More cars, send everyone. Officer shot, officer shot.
The officer, fortunate not to have fallen alongside his colleagues, now had one critical duty: to stop the shooter, as Nicholas continued to fire at his presumably
Mitch, was he the only one alive?
deceased victims at close range. Determined to intervene, the officer performed something truly remarkable.
That was another one. What is he about to do? Oh, you can see it in his face. That guy locked in. How much would I bet he hit that first try and ain't missed? He hit that with precision.
Down. Suspect down.
Nicholas's parents could only scream in horror as officers took down their son with a single, precise shot from 40 yards away, striking him at the base of the skull
Ooh.
and killing him instantly. During his rampage, Nicholas had fired a total of 80 shots, 24 of which struck and killed the first officer, and 6 of which fatally wounded the second officer. The third officer, who fired the decisive shot that ended Nicholas's life, survived his own gunshot wound. If you enjoy videos like this, please...
That was actually kind of clean. For those watching on the tube, link in the description. Join my Twitch. We get into some crazy stuff over here. Have a wonderful night. Peace.